Hi, I'm Mark, and this is What's Brewing. Today we're sitting down with Mateo Atwi in the port of Iberia at his shop for Boxy Construction. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful B-roll. Mateo, thank you very much for joining us today. Tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Hi, Mark. It's great to be here. So we are Boxy Construction here. Me and my brother grew up in Iberia. We both went to college, became mechanical engineers, and we decided we wanted to start a business together. And so we started Boxy, and Boxy is a modular construction company, and we do prefabrication. We build buildings inside of a warehouse.
That's amazing. So it's kind of, to tell people at home who might not understand modular construction, what does all that entail?
Yeah, so it's the idea that we can kind of do like Legos where all the parts and pieces come together, and then maybe larger pieces come together as well, sort of like, maybe shipping containers being stacked side by side. And then whenever we are done with that, it creates a building. So it's just building a building, but thinking about the different parts and pieces.
Oh, wow. So what made you come up with this type of an idea for something that's mainly been like, custom design, everything like that? What made you come up with this idea for Boxy? Yeah,
so it's kind of this culmination of things. Right now there's a huge problem in the construction industry with finding labor. There's a huge problem with materials getting wet in the rain and just damage to materials and storms and hurricanes, especially in Louisiana. So all these factors kind of culminated, and we decided this is a really cool opportunity for us to look for new ways to do construction, because it really hasn't changed in a long time. It's very similar to how it was 30 years ago.
I gotcha. So to kind of take a little bit more of a step back, because I love the concept. So what was your education in, and where'd you go to school to kind of come to this culmination to doing modular building with Boxy? Yeah. So our education's really helped. I went to Georgia Tech in Atlanta, and I studied mechanical engineering. So that helped from the problem solving standpoint and understanding engineering. But at the end of the day, construction is very different from just straight engineering. It's very much about figuring out the people and the process, right? But our background of mechanical engineering here really helps us to be very kind of manufacturing oriented. Manufacturing oriented. It's very important to like figure out those processes, and getting them honed in. So I guess going to when Boxy first started, when was day one doors open on Boxy? So Boxy started at the end of March in last year. And then by August, we had rented this facility, and so we opened doors here, and we started 2 modules, which are just full pre-finished buildings that we sent to Church Point for a clinic there. And then November timeframe, we started getting into the steel processing business and doing the panels. So what is let's say a panel that you just mentioned? What does that entail? Yeah, so a building, if you think about it, has lots of walls, and each wall is essentially a panel. And so we're just doing this process where we break down the building into all of these wall sections, and we pre-build those wall sections. That's amazing. So how long does the process of usually building out a modular home take? So right now it takes us about a week to do all the walls in the home, and then it takes us about a week to do all the trusses in that same building, maybe less, maybe half a week. And then we take it to the site, and in about a week of on-site work, we can have that building dried in and ready for the finishers and the electricians and plumbers to go on the inside. So if you think about it, it's really 1 week of on-site time and maybe a week and a half of off-site. So people can at home can just understand the comparison. For someone who's doing something that's not modular, that's going to be like a traditional build out of those kind of things, how long does that process usually take? Yeah, so if it's like a standard home and you're framing it, it can take upwards of a month of on-site time. So we can cut that down to about a quarter of what it would normally take.
But it depends. You know, there's some crews that are very good and can do it a lot faster. Everything varies, you know, but yes, we can really cut down the framing process at least half the time.
That's amazing. So who's the partner in this business with you?
Yeah, so me and my brother started the business. His name is Tiago. He's a little bit older than I am, but we're both mechanical engineers and both in it together.
Both in it together. So you guys, I love your guys' names, by the way.
Thank you.
Mateo, like I've always loved the name Mateo. Like it's a great name. And you and your brother. So he was just as excited to jump on with you on this?
Yeah. So he worked in a wind farm. He was building wind turbines in Texas as a project engineer. And then he came and worked on shipping containers with me in Atlanta. And then we came over here and said, well, we really want to pour into this area and start up some new business here.
Well, Mateo, it's been good getting to sit down with you, definitely for this. We're going to do a part 2 interview. Are you okay with doing that?
Yep.
Okay, to kind of deep dive more. I want to know more a little bit about how you and your brother got into it, more about the history, where you're from, and those kind of things. But we're going to save that for the next episode.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you again, man.
Yes, thanks, Mark.
Awesome. That's going to do it for us here over at What's Brewing for today. If you liked what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, crush that subscribe button to keep up with all the content that's coming out, and don't forget to ring that bell to get notifications. But until we see you again, have a good one.